Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collective podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all of you miserable biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
Hi, welcome to TFYLP, episode 627. We are live tonight. It is Wednesday, August 20th. I'm Lucas. I'm joined tonight by Anna.
Good evening.
And Christian.
What up?
So I guess we're reuniting the Microcasters. Talib said that he thought this was a Facebook exclusive show.
We used to do it on Wednesdays, that's true.
Yeah?
Oh, it was like Facebook exclusive.
We did it on Facebook, yeah, like way back in the day. So that's...
yeah, I remember that.
There you go.
That was an experiment we tried because it was like, oh, we'll do it exclusively here and get different people. And it was like just a pain.
Right. Back when we used to do 2 shows a week, and now we might do 1 show every 2 weeks. Is that kind of the...
I'm doing 2 shows a week lately.
Oh, well, look at you. Now, what's your other show, Anna?
What is my other show, Anna? I feel like this is how we started the last show. I'm on the Decepticast on Monday nights at 9:15 Central Time.
So what do you discuss on that show? That
Transformer robots.
Okay.
Whoa.
So pretty much the same thing as this?
It's similar. The thing that our longtime viewer, who is really hosting, I'm just helping. The thing that he does differently is he does what he's best at and goes through all the news of the whole week as a show format, and we mix in discussion while we go over the news.
Okay.
So this week, we did a discussion on FOMO as we discussed various news stories, such as the limited edition pink bear blocky Optimus thingy.
Oh, yeah.
I need it.
It's a thing. That's a thing.
Oh, I know.
Strange.
I was just saying I need it. I don't actually. I'm okay without it.
Does anyone actually have that pink Optimus thing?
The pink Optimus that came out a little while ago, just the normal Optimus blocky in pink, I know Paul has. But
I would have liked to have gotten that one.
The pink bear thing isn't out yet.
Oh,
the pink bear is a big old thing. It's like almost a foot tall. It's got its head opens up and it's got little pilots. So it's pretty much like having the Headmaster Juniors inside of it.
Oh, it's big. Okay, that's wondering how they're going to do that.
Big, and it's got little tiny pilots. Yeah, they're smaller than Defender class blocky. But anyway,
Right. Cool.
So it's the real difference is really that we're doing news like every week, like all the news.
Okay.
And he is like an epic news finder. Like he finds news that I don't know where he finds it. And he makes it up. That'd be great. He doesn't make it up. Don't worry.
Source, I made it up.
But what we do, or what we used to do, is we used to get together every week and review a new figure. Now, when you think about it, that model is probably one of the reasons I'm having so much trouble getting my room put together, because I have too many toys, right? And if we were doing 1 toy a week for years, I kind of added to the collection a little bit, right? In addition to other impulses. So in some ways, maybe it's best we don't do it too much anymore, but we do have a Microcaster double feature tonight, as we are doing Megatrons, not just Megatron.
For the record, I am doing just Megatron.
Oh, you haven't
this
guy yet?
Up
No, I don't have the other one.
I thought
you're
you
gonna be so
had
disappointed
the other
in.
set.
I mean, I own it.
You just
Not
have
It's time to open things, man.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
I think I missed the memo that we were doing the other one.
our review of that, whether or not you're going to want to keep that sealed in the box to potentially throw on
No.
a sell pile?
No,
or...
open it.
Oh, well,
Okay.
that would make it different.
Yeah.
Just to keep it sealed in the box is not my style.
No. I mean, like,
No, for
to
sure.
sell the
Or
figure
sell, maybe.
at a later
Before you
date
even
for
open
sell.
it. Yeah, you're gonna be very disappointed in KO Steve Train. Just not as good as the original Steve Train.
I think. I mean, I don't know. Like, I actually think that that's better. I'm somewhat disappointed in the Megatron, but we'll get to that, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah, you were. That's strange. You're like the only person I've heard disappointed in it. But I think we should really focus on this guy, right? We were waiting for roughly the last 600 years to get a mainline Megatron toy that looked anything like G1 Megatron.
This
right?
is what he looked like, right? That's it.
That's it.
This is it.
I remember that in the movie.
Yep.
But he turned into that and jumped into Starscream's hand and crushed him, and the movie ended.
That's exactly what happened.
That's what happened. Yeah, so we were waiting for this, right? We were waiting for the robot mode of Megatron. We were told by the Hasbro toy makers that, they're never going to be able to make us a gun and put it on toy store shelves.
I don't know what you're talking about. There was a gun in that.
It's true. It's mounted. It's in its normal place, mounted on my Cybertronian ratchet, right?
Ratchet. Yes, good. That's right.
I say Megatron can hold Megatron.
Yes, Megatron. That's a funny little aside. On the back of the box for this guy, right? There's an image of a mysterious blue arm holding Megatron gun. And this is another thing where my friend Caleb, I do the other show with, just like he got it. Like he figured out what that was. And it's the stupidest thing because it is literally Megatron's arm. It's just blue. It is literally this toy's arm holding it, but they made it blue with yellow highlights, which utterly like red herring everyone. We're all like, oh, it's Twin Cast, or it's like Thundercracker, or I don't know, Dirge. We were all over the place.
Could be Safety Megatron.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
I would definitely buy that.
Sort of hint for something like that. That'd be really neat.
Love Safety Megatron.
That would be cool, but I don't know. We'll see. It's a really expensive figure to make a weird, obscure repaint of, but, who knows these days. So, yeah, we were waiting for this guy because we got 86 Optimus, gosh, how long ago now? 6 months?
1 year ago.
Has it been a whole year that we've had him?
I mean, I've got it 51 weeks ago, so yes.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, so we've had that Optimus. We were waiting for him to have a Megatron to hang out with. And this is it, right? This is it. He's sized right. He looks right. He smells right. Smells just like the Optimus. So perfect in that way. But is he perfect as a toy? That's what we're here to discuss. So let's start with the thing Christian's holding. That is the conceit of the toy, right? It doesn't turn into a gun. It turns into a tank. What is your opinion on the tank, Christian? Because I have not heard it yet.
It's pretty fine.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not like, oh, I love it so much, yay! But yeah, it's fine. It's a passable tank. I don't like that there's kind of like a vague gap, right there. But I'm not going to keep it in this mode. It's got contiguous treads. It has a wheel, has 3 wheels, 1, 2, 3. So it can actually roll, which is pretty neat. They've been kind of skimping on that lately. The turret goes all the way around in an unconvincing way, but it does do it. And I like that the tank barrel actually does look like his gun barrel, because it's got the thing right here, and it's got that thing here. So, it's fine.
The barrel came out good. I think the turret itself is heinous. I cannot stand looking at that. It's the same kind of his 2 arms pushed together with the barrel in the middle that we've got him for the last 3 Megatrons now. We dealt with it with Siege. We dealt with Earthrise.
A tank Megatron that didn't transform like that? I feel like they all have, haven't they?
Armada.
Oh yeah, that is a tank Megatron. That is true.
All of the various Armada.
I don't think of that as the same fate as a Tank Megatron because it's a very different design and character. But you're right, he doesn't have to do that. He does his own thing.
Revenge of the Fallen.
Okay, so there's plenty of examples, at least two.
I don't know.
I may be
feel
wrong
like
about that.
most
Actually,
of
Revenge
the
of the Fallen, I think,
toys,
does transform that.
most of the toys I think of or whatever of Tank Megatrons transform like that. So I don't know. What would you say is the best Tank
G2
Megatron?
Megatron.
That's what G2 Megatron didn't transform like that, right?
Yeah,
His arms aren't
no. He had like a tank on the back.
That's what I thought.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't he?
Combat Hero Megatron transforms like that, but I think the other one doesn't.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I think that's right. So, I just don't like it. Like, I don't think that's a good looking tank at all. I think what bothers me about it the most probably is that, here's a $55 or $60 leader class figure that turns into a tank that looks like this, and then you have Warpath somewhere on your shelf as a like cheap deluxe figure who makes a better looking tank than this Megatron does. I think that's what disappoints me about it. I feel like when you're doing studio series, when you have a vehicle or an alt mode of any sort, it should be convincing. And this one just is not convincing. Now, then again, you get the contrary idea of that tank is wholly unnecessary because all you really need is this robot mode and this here gun, and you have the whole experience of G1 Megatron because he does not turn into a gun the size of his actual robot mode. So,
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's tankish enough. I, am going to transform him into tank mode like maybe once or twice, like his entire life. So does it really matter that much? I mean, I think, I don't think it's a complete crap tank mode. Like, I feel like it's fine.
I just don't think it matches up with studio series. Like, his tank mode is not as good of a tank as Optimus's truck mode is a truck, right? And that's the problem for me. Is that like the Optimus truck mode is actually pretty good. Like, that's a pretty good truck mode. It's not quite MP level, but it's good. Whereas this is like, this is definitely mainline Voyager Megatron tank. Just scaled up. Did he take a piece off?
Yeah, I did.
Well, yeah,
I think
you have to have him this way so that way he can make lots of unofficial gun modes. So
I haven't tried those yet.
There's been a lot of people making unofficial gun modes by basically pulling one or both of his legs forward and kind of holding them awkwardly.
Right.
There is I think it was Funbee who put out pictures of, and possibly you could even buy a 3D print of the handle to make him new comic style, where he's just a gun on a handle like he is in the new comic book. So silly, such a silly scene. Definitely had to be a joke, but it's a fun thing to recreate.
I think I sort of end up between the two of you on this. I mean, I definitely agree with Anna that if you're in studio series, you should have a really good alt mode. Like, ever since the live action designer team has lost that one guy who knew how to make cars, like official cars, like real cars, the alt modes for the live action dudes have been really bad. Like, just look to that new Barricade or even look to Dino and Q, and they're just kind of bloated and puffy looking. Like, cars don't look puffy. It's weird. And I think that extends to the G1 modes too. They should look nice.
I agree.
But like Lucas says, it's not really a thing I'm going to do a lot, and it's passable enough for the amount it's going to be in that mode. So yeah, I think I like it more than Anna, less than Lucas.
So to get to that mode, transformation wise, wasn't too bad. It's a long transformation, but it's not particularly hard. I got there without much trouble, and it wasn't too painful.
I was daunted by the box and the instructions saying it was 54 steps. I was like, holy cow, it's not really.
Yeah, we did a whole topic on that on the other show a couple weeks ago.
Did you? Okay. It's like open panel, move thing, close panel, turn it around. It's like 4 steps. It's like, that's 1 step. Come on.
Because what I was saying on there was, I feel like the Optimus, which is like 10 or 15 less steps, is actually far more complicated than
Agreed.
Megatron is. Like it's a much more difficult thing to transform. Like I kind of need to look at the instructions on that one. The only reason I would need to look at the instructions on the Megatron is because he doesn't really look like a tank in a lot of ways. So sometimes I need a little help with the visualization. Because if it turns into something real, I can usually do it pretty easy. If it turns into like, oh, you vaguely make a turret out of his arms, then I'm not as good. But anyway,
Keep breaking the toes off. I can't figure out how to do that again. Luckily, I've got another leg to try.
I will say, Anna,
So, yeah.
if I think the best looking tank mode, like in a Silver Megatron, is that Combiner Wars one, the leader class one. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, that is actually a decent tank.
Yeah.
I still have it right now, but I
don't
have
know
it.
why.
I have it in the Armada colors, and now I don't need it anymore because there's a
Right.
good Armada Megatron toy. So it's
Yeah, I've got both
yeah,
of those.
but it was decent. So one of the highlights is that it does come with this cool accessory. It's obviously not for him to carry, right? It's obviously just him in gun mode to give to his friends so that they can hold him and shoot people. It's kind of a fun little. To me, it's kind of a concession because it's like, y'all really don't want to turn this into a tank. Y'all really just want him to have a gun mode that he can put in his friend's hands, and here you go. This is what you get. It's decent looking. It feels a little flat, right? Like it feels like it could use a little more dimensionality to be a nicer looking gun. It doesn't feel as accurate as like the MP version of the same thing that they've given out many times, but it's fine for what it is. It's a cool inclusion. I'll give it that.
I think it needed to be there.
It needed to be there. It absolutely needed to be there because I think it makes it my complete vision of what a mainline Megatron toy should be. And I think honestly, at this point, a mainline Megatron toy should just give up on transforming. There's no point because this transformation is impossible because mass shifting doesn't exist in the real world yet. Once it does,
well, I mean, I think that again. I think Megatron would probably be either like a tank or a helicopter, or like some of the other things that he's been reimagined as, nowadays, compared to a gun. Like, I don't know.
I think he would have been a tank in G1 if a tank toy had been available.
Talib was asking if anyone got an email stating about the reduced cost for the Megatron. I got that email today too.
I got that email today. Yeah.
So yeah, very
reduced
exciting,
cost?
I guess. Yeah. So
the Amazon pre-orders were at 60 originally, and he came out at 55. So they're like, you say $5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks.
So they're giving back $5.
Yep.
They just didn't charge us the extra $5.
Oh, okay. I knew I didn't get charged the $5, so okay, that makes sense.
And then they're just telling us that they didn't do that.
That makes sense. So, I think one of my biggest problems with this Megatron is that I have very nice non-transforming Megatrons in my collection, right? I have Blocky Megatron, right? And Action Edition Blocky Megatron is a really great toy, right? Really great looking G1 Megatron. Just a little bit stylized, not that stylized, just a little bit. An inexpensive figure, a fun thing to build, has the multiple faces, has more fun accessories, and really does get the job done, just a little bit better because he doesn't suffer from things that a transforming Megatron would suffer from, like having a really thin waist, which is something that often ends up with transforming Megatrons. No thin waist on this guy. So, I don't know. My problem is my enjoyment of Studio Series 86 Megatron is kind of marred by the fact that I have good non-transforming Megatrons. And if this is basically going to be a non-transforming Megatron in my collection, because I'm not going to turn him into a tank anymore, what's the point, right? The point is that Christian would say.
I think it's interesting. I feel like you're the only person that I've heard that has not been excited about this Megatron. I mean, I
but I am excited about it. It's really good.
Right. This is one of the best looking. I just like the way that he looks. Even the Masterpiece Megatron, I don't know, it was just like kind of too thin to me. Like he
I
just
think he's a
didn't
little step above MP36. I really do agree with that. I think the
like.
only reason MP36 beats this is because he has the faces.
I mean, the transformation on MP36 is freaking cool though too. Like
It
I
is
could
cool.
never like.
It's too much, yes.
Way too much.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was, I don't know. Like I realized that it's very involved and you have to like clear your schedule to, get them transformed, but I don't know. There's just something about that. So,
It does what it should do, right? It turns from basically this into
right.
an actual nice looking, mostly to scale gun. Like it's a
Right.
really cool thing. I'm really glad they did it. I'm glad they pulled it off. As far as this goes, like the only reason I would want this in my collection instead of the Blockies Megatron, or in addition to at this point, because selling used model kits is kind of awkward, is because he goes better with the Prime, right? Like he does look
Right.
better with the Prime than the Blockies one does. I've put both of them with the Prime, and I think they both look cool with them. But this one looks better with them. It's a really good toy. Like it's well articulated. It looks right. It moves right. People have. I have seen people complaining about his face.
Really?
And
Pretty good face.
the problem with the good thing with the face is it looks like Megatron.
Right.
The bad thing with the face is that is the facial expression he makes almost never, because Megatron is always making crazy faces, right? Like he's a very expressionate character, right? Like it's like neutral face Starscream. When does Starscream make neutral faces? He's crazy.
Right,
Megatron
but I mean,
is
this
always
isn't
laughing
quite a
or
neutral face
screaming.
though. Like that's the thing.
That's a very neutral face.
He's kind of menacing with the eyes.
Yeah, it's a little bit menacing. I don't
Neutral
know.
to grumpy.
Like I think he's a little bit grumpy. Like I don't know. Like I like the fact that they kind of made it neutral face without making it neutral face. If that makes any sense.
If there's a DNA kit that adds the faces that MP36 had, I'll feel better, because then I'll be like, okay, I don't have MP36 anymore, but I have my favorite feature of it.
One thing
that
I
was my
actually
favorite
think
feature of the toy.
is neat about this is, and I realize that the tank mode is not the greatest, whatever, but like it's pretty much a tank, like whatever. But in robot mode, it does not look like a tank at all. I mean, you got a little bit of tread stuff at the very back, but for the most part, it looks like Megatron, and so I don't know. I think it's. I also really love too about the figure that, like, he has my favorite hands of like a Transformers figure or Masterpiece figure or whatever, where he has the 3 fingers and then his index finger or whatever is like you can move it separately, which is like kind of. I don't like individually articulated fingers. I think it's too much.
Yeah.
And so I like it where you have the 3 fingers together and then you have the pointer finger or whatever.
I like the madness Christian is engaged in right now. He gave him an interesting shoulder cannon.
Got to do something with it.
Gotta do something with it.
Now that I'm in robot mode, I can say that this cannon is pretty okay. It is not the best one, and I am excited to get a replacement one that's a little bit more accurate. But this isn't bad. Like in the pictures, you're like, oh, that looks kind of bad. In hand, not so bad. Also, in pictures, this kind of looked blue and not the right color and stuff. It's the right color.
It's the right color.
It's the right color in person. I don't know what that was. If it was a filter, if it was lighting, if it was Photoshop. It looked not right. It's right about this.
I think what DNA might do with this is they might do. I could really see them doing faces as long as his head's relatively easy to remove. I haven't tried, so as long as his head's relatively easy to remove, I could see them producing a new head with changeable faces, right? Like that would be a thing they would do, because MP36 is there to tell us that's what a Megatron's supposed to do. I could also see them replacing the arm cannon because it is not right. So therefore, they could probably make one that is right. I could also see them doing something to make this just a little more like, I don't know, bulked up a little bit where it looks a little better instead of just a thing that pops into his back. Because
Maybe.
since he's not actually transforming with that part, this is just an accessory, right? This is just something that pegs in. So I could see them producing something new that worked, I don't know, bulked them up a little bit. Maybe
And the
even
mace.
some sort of back cover to bulk this up, and then possibly a mace, yeah. He doesn't have a whole lot of hollow things to put hollowness covers in unless you did his armpits, which I think would be a waste of plastic compared to the other things that you focus on. I think the other upgrades would be much more meaningful.
I worry about this even less than I worry about normal part filler kits. It's just like this one really doesn't have it, like you said.
No, I think it's really the only hollow place that you could really do anything with, unless you put in like screw hole covers, which at that point you're just, I don't know, it's getting a little excessive. But otherwise, I think that's probably what our upgrade kits will look like. And I think that, Christian and I have been talking a lot lately about, how we cycle our toys, right? We cycle our G1 representations, and Megatron and Optimus have caused us to need to cycle things, right? We need to cycle things we didn't need to cycle before because their cartoon likenesses are so good and their colors are so right that we're going to be
realize it for a year.
Things.
But you told me a year ago.
I did. I was like, this Optimus is going to poop on all your other toys and make them leave. And he's doing it. And this Megatron is also helping. And a lot of it really is the colors, just because the colors have like the more correct saturation now that they didn't have back in Earthrise. So when you put it next to your Earthrise stuff, you're like, oh, it's almost right, but it's the wrong color. And it could be a little better too. And then you're just up the creek at that point.
Yeah, so, I made a list earlier this week of who might survive, and it was kind of short. It was like Gears and Brawn and Jazz.
See,
I Jazz
don't know. I could even
Rumble
see
pick one.
I could see myself replacing that. Like Gears, I feel like is probably on the definitely to keep list, but I don't know. I could see myself replacing Brawn. I could see a new Jazz. Like I don't know. It's because I could see that again, that incremental improvement where that'll get you. So.
Well, that's what I was going to say with this guy is I want to say like DNA puts out a, $40 upgrade kit, boosting this up to a $95 toy, right? Might as well do it because you're never going to replace this Megatron, right? I don't know. Who knows what happens in the future, right? Who knows what happens in the future? Because one thing that could happen, and something we've been talking about for a few years now, is Takara does whatever they want, right? Like, we had them consistently making things that were in the MP line for a long time. Now they've got MPG, they've got T-Spark. They're just making whatever toy they feel like this week. And they could, in the next few years, release a whatever price they want, this size, but more complex Gun Megatron, and sell it in the Japanese market because they're not going to sell it at toy stores. They're going to sell it only in collectible shops. That's where they sell their fancy Transformers. They can make it at a $120, $150 price point. They don't care. They do whatever they want to get the toy out. So, something like that could happen. And then we'd all be looking at it and we'd be like, man, that transforms right. And they'd probably improve a few other things, right? Like maybe they get his shoulders up that like millimeter. They need to be higher to actually be right looking on his arms. Maybe they'd, make the cannon correctly, a few little things here and there to get him to be a little bit better. He'd be expensive, but we would say to ourselves, well, it's Megatron. And we get it. And then our DNA kit upgraded one would be like, well, it was a $120 rental.
I don't know.
It's not where I thought you were going. I thought you were going to say that they might do a premium finish version of him.
Oh, they could have
been one of those
premium
packs.
Finish, right?
Dramatic capture is what it is now, but yeah.
They could do that for him and Optimus. The Optimus kind of happened, right? Because they did that very short run.
With the Earthrise one, yeah.
Was it? I thought they did one with the...
Yeah.
No, I thought they did one with the...
Oh, the con one with the stickers and stuff?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. That's very, very short run, but yes.
Very short run. Very weird, limited figure. So, they could do... they could do a dramatic capture, one shall stand, one shall fall pack, right? They could do that. They could charge like $300 for it. make it in fancy art, give extra pieces. Who knows, right?
Do the battle damage decos.
So Christian, question I have for you
For me?
is not necessarily the question of like who would you be not willing to upgrade, like who's staying or whatever it is, that who do you feel bad like that you still have that representation in your collection, if that makes sense, right? So for me, Megatron, I feel like before this, being a studio or not a studio series, being a mainline collector, having Siege Megatron or Earthrise Megatron or whatever the heck I had before this figure, like I felt bad having that as my main Megatron, but like doing Siege as my collection, if that makes sense, right?
I want to answer. I want to be the one to answer this question first. What Christian thinks.
It's a sensible question. I'm just thinking about my
answer.
Because
to me, I don't know what the heck just happened to Anna. She
moved to the other side. She's
anyway,
gonna go get whatever her answer is.
To me, good. my answer to that was this, and then also the Seekers, because I just don't really like those Earthrise Seekers. And
which one specifically, Anna?
All the RCs.
All of them? Okay. I think you're muted. If you're talking.
So anyway, I guess that was a question I had for you, Christian, is that now with this and some of the other new figures that we have coming out soon, like within the next couple of years, that we already know.
I feel, okay, like here's an answer that Anna will probably like. I mean, the first one that came to mind was Combiner Wars Bruticus, because that's kind of a new thing coming out. Like, that one's not on display and hasn't been in a long time, so that's fine. I think my real answer is going to be the female Autobots and Elita 1. Like, those are legit not good figures and not good representations of those characters, and they should be better.
I don't know why my stunt killed my sound, sorry.
Welcome back. So which one was it specifically of the RC?
Just RC, in general.
Okay, just all of them. Okay, good.
Every RC, right? And they're all still wrong. Every single one of them is incorrect. It drives me crazy. They're all incorrect.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught what I was saying, but my most egregious one right now is the female Autobot.
Yeah, for sure.
And Elita.
Just all of them.
I keep watching the Search for Alpha Trion because it keeps coming on Transformers TV, and it's like, they don't look like that.
No.
Elita definitely doesn't look like that, and they're definitely not all the same mold. So, like, why are they so bad? Just
Everyone's
be better.
Different. Yeah. No, that's a bummer. And I mean, it's the same thing with RC, right? Like, the Masterpiece RCKO with the changed chest is probably the closest to the animation look that exists of RC. It is not bad, but it doesn't scale with the rest of my collection because I mostly have the smaller figures. I need a smaller RC that looks anything like movie RC, and Studio Series 86 RC does not. And Earthrise RC does not. Like, none of them do. So, yeah, that's frustrating.
I think Cup is also pretty bad. But that new Achai Studio head looks a lot better on him. I think I'm gonna try that out.
Makes him not dead.
Blur.
Yes, they also made a good Blur head, and that is decent.
And the Rodimus
Prime head Rodimus too. Yeah.
Yep. See, I feel like Blurred is probably definitely one. I like the Target Cup. I felt like kind of
somewhat still needs a different face.
Somewhat fixed it a little bit, like so that I'm mostly okay with that.
Because they issued him in the wrong color in the first place. That was bad.
Yeah.
It helped a lot. It took it from like a D or an F to like a C, right?
Yeah.
In a grade. Like, it's okay now. But it was real bad because it just looked so dead originally. All the colors were wrong. It was just a mess. But that Blur is pretty atrocious.
Yeah. But like the 84, 85 crew, I mean, that's kind of where I've been focusing this topic that Anna and I have been talking about. Lucas, you've been watching this talk about for the past couple of days. And like, of that group, I think the worst one's probably Mirage.
Huh.
And he looks fine enough, but I can't forgive that they took away the shoulder mounting of his weapon. Like, I had to get an upgrade kit just to do that. I mean, come on.
Right.
He doesn't look right, and I think like I don't know anything about race cars, especially like that era of race cars, but I don't think he really represents the right car yet.
Mm-mm.
So that kind of throws off the whole thing. And again, with when you're in like a studio series area, which I know he's not a studio series figure, but when you're in that like studio series mindset, you want the vehicle mode to be as close to right as possible.
Right. And it does kind of seem like we're going to go towards Studio Series 84 in quotes, whatever they're going to call it. They'll probably just call it Studio Series and it'll be accurate stuff. Mirage, I think, would be the top of my list to get done correctly. There's your real answer, Lucas. I know the female Autobots aren't on a lot of people's radar because, like, oh, we got a green light. It's like, yeah, we did, but can she be correct? Maybe
Bumblebee kind of annoys me too because we've had 1,000 Bumblebees, but none of them are 100% right. It's like if I could take every Bumblebee and combine it, maybe it would somehow be right.
Yeah, that one's pretty obnoxious too. But I'm not as annoyed by it because he's been around for a year.
Right.
He's pretty much as bad as RC because RC has gotten so many figures that are all wrong. Bumblebee has gotten so many figures that are all wrong. Every one of them is wrong. Even I think the MP, the new one, I don't think is good enough.
It's not good.
It came out weird.
Actually,
it came out like a 2D photograph.
I think my favorite B is the original MP.
Yeah, that's one of the
it's just a fun
classics.
toy. So I don't know, and I actually kind of like the Studio Series B, other than the chest and just it kind of annoys me a little bit. But I think if they release them with blue windows, I might be kind of okay with it.
My favorite's actually this one. Who made this one? It's called BBII. Which maker was it? It's Toy World. It's Toy World.
Toy World, yeah.
Yeah, this is actually, I think, the best looking likeness of Bumblebee.
It's based on the mold that I mentioned.
Yep, it is. It's just kind of an improved version of it.
Yep, it has the right alt mode.
Yeah, it has the right alt mode, and it has the right proportions. I think it pulls off Bumblebee better than any... I don't even have it as Bumblebee. I only have the glyph version. But
it's funny because, like, how old is that figure? Like, that thing has to be, what, 10 years old now?
No, that thing's real old.
I mean, the original one is now 19 years old. Classics B.
Yeah.
That's rough to think about.
It's really old, but I still think it does better than all the other Bs we've gotten. But we were actually here to talk about Megatron, right? So
that's true.
The thing is,
we'll get back to it on another episode because it's been playing in our conversation offline for a couple weeks now.
Megatron's been making us think about it, right? Because he's resetting things, and Megatron, I think, is going to be like the catalyst for why we're all going to be okay with getting a whole new set of Seekers, right? Because here we are, we know they're coming, we've been told, we've seen the first one, and we know it looks better. And I already stood him beside my Studio Series 86 Starscream, the one that came with the throne and isn't actually a Studio Series figure, and it does not look right. Like, he is way too short, and he just totally looks like a different style of figure than this Megatron. And it's like, crap, I need a new Starscream to go with this guy. So every Megatron has to have a Starscream with them in your collection, right? Having a Megatron without a Starscream beside him just feels weird.
Right.
Unless you're doing just Megatron and Optimus, that might be okay. But
that would be okay, yeah.
If you're going to do that, these two Studio Series figures are going to be the ones, right?
They're great.
Optimus and Megatron, that's it. Get them.
But they're kind of
to go on the whole
crew.
Yeah, basically the topic we've been talking about is, are we really ready to do the whole crew again, having just maybe barely finished when Windcharger comes out, that group? Like, I mean, we waited, 6 or 7 years to get Buzzsaw? Come on. They were already switching out the cassettes before that was done. I think this change, basically what Anna's convinced me, is that this change over from kind of the Earthrise Kingdom legacy thing to this now Studio Series thing has been happening for longer than I've known. Like the cassettes were really indicative of it. It's like, oh, we're actually going to make these nice. And Optimus comes out, it's like, oh yeah, he can kind of fit with those guys. And then you kind of look closer and it's like, does he? And then Studio Series Brawn is like, does he fit? And then you come out with Gears, which feels like a Studio Series figure, but was a legacy figure. And it's like, these look different. Even Jazz was different from his, Kingdom contemporaries.
Yep, he was. He was.
But they pretty much do this in every line, though, too, right? Like, I mean, they do that in Masterpiece as well, so...
Yeah, it's like when MP10 made all your older MPs look bad, and then MP44 made all your older MPs look bad.
And then we have another
they didn't
Masterpiece
start a new line.
Megatron. Or Optimus, I mean.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Kind of.
I think that is nothing. Thing. It's nothing and everything at the same time.
Yes, it is nothing but everything. It's fun. But yeah, so I feel like when we used to do microcasters, Lucas would always say I didn't like something just because I critiqued it. It's not that I don't like the thing, right? I do like it. I like it quite a lot. I think it's quite good. I think this look is great. In fact, looking back and forth between this and my Blockies Megatron, right? Like, I think the Blockies Megatron is a fabulous figure, but holding this one up beside it lets me identify all the things in the Blockies one that are inaccurate to what Megatron's supposed to look like, right? Like, I can just go through and be like, oh yeah, they actually did the torso better, and the chest is the right shape, and blah, 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 right? So I think it is really good. I think it is right up there with MP36. I find it hard to convince myself that the right choice is to have a transforming figure that I'll never transform.
I think I agree with you in most of the places there. But for me, it's still important to know that it can transform. And that's just a hang-up I have, I suppose. I suspect that a lot of the fans have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's right, because I think if you take it any step back, you're right. Megatron doesn't need to transform anymore because most of us don't do that. But something in my brain says the Transformer needs to transform. So that's where I live.
Harrison?
Is that Red?
Harrison is the Red, yeah.
Red did look nice. It didn't scale with anything.
Yeah, the Red did a really good job of capturing Megatron with low detail, simple, $20 non-transforming figure. I think this is still a little bit better than the Red at looking like him, but the Red, I don't know, it has its pluses. Definitely the gun part in the back looks better.
I feel like the silhouette of this figure, of the figure itself, is better than any other Megatron I've ever had. And this includes all the third-party and masterpieces. Because I don't think we've gotten any third-party... Have we gotten third-party Megatrons after... There's a Legends one that's the New Age or whatever, right? And so we got some of those. But we haven't gotten any masterpiece-scaled Megatrons after MP36, right?
No, because they started knocking off the MP36 and doing improvements on it. So you end up with Infinite Transformation and a couple other ones that took the MP36 and tried to fix a few of the slight flaws with it. They're very slight flaws. It wasn't as egregious as fixing a breakpoint, like a lot of the upgraded KOs try to do. It was just more little tiny changes they made to make it seem better a little bit. But anyway, I think that's kind of what stopped it, though. I think MP36 kind of stopped people from trying,
right,
with it, because I know at one point there was a rumor that New Age was just going to make theirs their Studio Series stand-in that they did
Right.
back when Optimus came out, that they were just going to make that an MP size. They never did, right?
Hmm.
They never did. I don't think it's big enough. I don't think it's good enough to blow up to
Right.
MP size. I think it's got too many flaws. I don't think they should do that unless they could market it for like $100, which there's no way they could, since the Studio Series size one costs $100.
Yeah. So I think, I don't know. I really enjoyed the Make Toys Megatron. I thought that was really cool. Like, and that's probably the best, like, fun transforming Megatron. Like, that transforms into a gun. Like, obviously in P36, like, I enjoyed it, but I understand it's a involved transformation. But, like, this to me, like, is the, I don't know, like, it gets the silhouette right for me personally. And so,
The silhouette's close.
I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
the only
this
piece I
is
can see,
really good.
the only piece I can see that kind of ruins it, and ruin is a very harsh word for what this is. The only piece of kibble that is evident from the tank stuff, that right
Yep.
there, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm good with that.
Yeah, me too. If you
Ooh,
really
he's got
wanted,
thing on the back of his leg. Ooh.
a gun Megatron, I would really just say everybody should pick up the Dr. Wu gun Megatron. It really does transform into a gun. It really does look just like Megatron. It's really great. It'll run you a whole $25, $30, and it's a satisfying toy to own. And if you get tired of having it by itself, you can put it in one of your Titan's hands for fun, right? It's just a cool little thing.
That said, I would have liked to have had his pistol that he uses in the movie.
Yep.
That's all. I mean,
And the
if he's not a movie figure, then I would like to have the mace.
Right.
A giant can of bug spray, maybe, but that's, yeah.
So
that giant thing that Dr. Arkeville made that melted his chest that one time. Sure.
So
no,
there
I
we
think
go.
he comes to the
All
right
things you can get in the inevitable DNA kit, right?
He's got the sword, which is cool. I think that's more important than that little pistol. He could have the big old shard that he throws at Optimus. I think that'd be kind of cool. But no, I don't think he is lacking for accessories. And I don't think he's lacking in paint. I think this was an appropriately priced figure. That is a very good figure. And I'll pick it up.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would give it almost a universal recommendation for most collectors, but I wouldn't give it like the highest rating just because the alt mode isn't good. But that's okay. Like, because the alt mode's unnecessary on this guy.
And I would rank a little bit higher because I think the alt mode is fine.
It's fine, but
it's fine. It's not excellent, but it's fine. I think it should be excellent, but again, that's kind of a different conversation.
I really do think it's not excellent because of the fact that he has one spot of kibble on him. Like, I think literally they sacrificed the tank. I don't think they had to sacrifice the tank. I think they could have made a toy of this size that transformed really well into a nice looking tank with the same amount of parts and everything. It just would have had to have more tank evidence in the robot mode.
And I kind of think they made the right choice by not doing that.
Oh, they did. They totally.
It would be a better toy if what you just said existed.
Yeah.
But to represent Megatron as he appears on screen, I think this was the right choice. It's a tough balancing act.
No, it's the right choice. I don't think it would have made most people happy if they would have over-engineered the darn thing as a commander in order to get a better tank mode. Like, I don't think that would have been worth the extra $35 to get it up to commander price for most people. Like, maybe it would have been, but it wouldn't have been worth it for most people. And maybe not even for me, because when a toy gets that complex, I don't enjoy it anymore. I might have been
the only way I would be happy with spending the extra money for a commander figure would be is if they made it into an upside down submarine.
It's his best alt mode.
So
that's going to be Shockwave's alt mode in the fan vote.
And Magnus are like just at the edge of complex for me. Like that's it. I don't want them any more complex than that. I think this would have had to have been a commander.
So, Lucas, do we want to talk about the cannon real fast? There's not a whole lot to say about it.
I think that this does not look very good.
So we did get another Megatron recently. We got the 2-pack Hearts of Steel that came with the disappointing robot but good little train Bumblebee. And we got the Megatron that turns into a cannon emplacement. It is such a cool concept, right? Like
Sure.
the idea of a Megatron that turns into a real world cannon emplacement that is similar in a lot of ways to Galvatron as turning into a futuristic space cannon emplacement. Like, it's really cool. Like, I really do like him as an artillery cannon. It's cool. I hate that Lucas, hold it up again since you had it in alt mode. Hold it forward with front facing.
The legs that are like just sitting there on the back, is that what we're talking
Face
about?
it front. From the front, face it.
Oh, the front. Okay, sorry.
If you hold it like that and you even like tilt it a little bit to the side, like it looks really good, right? Like that is a cool cannon on wheels with spike wheels. Like that is a cool looking thing, but it does literally just have his legs hanging off the back, and that is rough, right?
Yeah.
An actual
to hold them to fold over.
An actual cannon like that would have a hitch on the back, and the hitch would be thin on either side, and it would hitch into a wagon or whatever. And that does make sense, but it wouldn't be a full solid chunk of robot leg.
I actually think it looks better if you flip the legs around like this. I mean, it's not supposed to be like that because the wheels are whatever, but it's still, I don't know. Like,
It works a little better.
I mean, I guess I'm glad this exists, right? Because this is the only version of Hearts of Steel Megatron we've ever gotten, right? Like, no one else has made this. MMC quit making Hearts of Steel before they got to this.
If you want to be real, there is no Heart of Steel Megatron.
Right.
Well,
Sir not appearing in this film. Yeah.
Well, now there is.
Now there is. There was concept art. That's what this is based on.
Right.
I think it's a cool thing. Something that really surprised me was when other people were talking about him, and I was thinking I was getting a Voyager figure. He's not a Voyager figure. He is.
Yeah, I thought that was happening too. I thought it was Voyager, Optimus, and Megatron.
He's definitely a deluxe, right?
Right.
He's maybe a big deluxe, possibly, but he is a deluxe. He's very skinny too, right? Like he is very thin and skinny. So this actually feels like it probably weighs a little more bulk wise than the Megatron does. He's really light. He's really skinny. You can point out that the back of his legs are kind of hollow. The color of the plastic kind of covers that up pretty much perfectly. And, you know, the fists don't do any as far as rotation or anything. So he's a pretty minimal figure as far as a minimal modern deluxe. He does a good job of being an okay toy. He just doesn't do anything like amazing. The most amazing thing he does, in my opinion, is have giant spiked wheels on his shoulders. Because that's just a crazy intimidating thing. He's also holding basically a real world cannon on his arm, where Megatron always has an arm cannon. It's kind of just a cool thing. It's more like a cool concept than actually an amazing toy. Are there a bunch of deluxes in my collection that are better toys than this? Absolutely. Are there a bunch of deluxes in my collection that are cooler than this though? I don't know. This is pretty cool. If you like your edgy spikes.
I mean, I think that the concept is cool. It's just the execution of it. I don't know. It's just, it kind of falls flat for me. You know, again, like the little hollow legs in the back, the fact that I'm like, you know, flip up into a decent alt mode. I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of this. It almost feels like a knockoff to me. If that makes any sense.
I think a knockoff company could fix this thing. I think they could blow it up to a Voyager.
You know what actually this reminds me of is there was an Evergreen Shockwave that they
Yeah.
came out with, like I think it was at Walgreens or whatever. This kind of reminds me of that.
His legs were a lot like this,
Yes.
actually.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I mean, this does have better paint on it. I do appreciate the fact that they have some decent paint apps, but
It's got good paint. It's got kind of an awkward face. Like it's not. I think part of the problem with the face is I'm comparing it to the Studio Series face, and the Studio Series face is really good, and this is like it's an okay deluxe face.
They do
He's
feel
all
like they
right.
could have been designed by not the main Transformers team.
That is very possible.
The team that does Cyberverse and Earthspark and Cyberworld, like
That's another thing. The plastic does feel a little different on these.
Yeah.
It feels a
remember,
little lighter, a little more
remember this is a new
thin.
line. They're reusing the Timelines name that the convention exclusives used to use, and we've heard that each year Timelines is the release of these 4 characters in some sort of unifying theme. So like
No,
that sounds like maybe it's some other branch of toy design for a project.
that's possible. Yeah, that is possible. It's interesting. It's fun. It's glad I didn't get both sets because I was told that
well,
the
the
set
other
was better than the other one.
what's that?
I was told by multiple people that this set is better than the other one. So
Oh no,
I'm
see
glad I
that's
didn't get the
what
other set.
I know multiple people who've said the opposite.
Huh. Okay.
I know that's what like
Device then.
Imgo was saying the same thing. I mean, I kind of somewhat agree. I don't know. They're probably about the same, roughly. Um, so I don't know, but it's funny too. The Bumblebee, right? Where you, Anna, had mentioned that you don't like that figure at all, and Adam Magnus agrees with me in the chat that I actually think this is the best figure out of this and Megatron.
It is probably out of all 4 of them. I've only seen pictures of the other 2. It probably has the best hands down alt mode. Like this is a good alt mode. Like when I look at this, I'm like, ooh, this is well done. This is a good little train. It's it transforms almost identical to the MFT one, but I think this has a little bit more detail on it. So C Train becomes a cool train. He just becomes a refined version of that same train. Also a little smaller than C Train, but
I also think it's neat that he has weapon storage underneath him for his 2
That's
weapons.
nice.
that is nice.
So
That is nice. But we're not here to talk about Bumblebee. We were just here to talk about Megatron and the cannon in place of Megatron. I think it's a really fun thing that most people should probably skip unless you just look at it and say, I really want that. Right? Like for me, it was just a very emotional, like he's this weird spiked wheel cannon emplacement. That is something I would like to have in my collection. It's like having the Genesis Megatron for me. Right? It's just like I care more that it's a Megatron that turns into a Genesis, that it's a particularly good Megatron that turns into a Genesis. I care more that this is a Megatron that turns into a cannon emplacement than a good Megatron that turns into a cannon emplacement. If there was a better one, I'd totally upgrade. A better Mega Cannon. A better Megatron Mega Drive. Whatever. I'd upgrade either of them.
I definitely wouldn't mind if someone knocked off at least the Optimus and made it bigger. Gave it the trailer, the lance.
yeah, I think it's definitely missing those pieces. But then at that point, you're like, well, should I just try to get the MMC one?
You should not. The answer is no. The Hasbro figure is 100 times better than the MMC one. Do not buy that thing. It will fall apart because it is bad.
Yeah, let's be damned. They didn't have it down yet back then.
No.
That April Fool's one they had a couple years ago, I really did want that one. But they didn't actually make it.
If MNC remade those toys today with how well they make toys, they would be phenomenal.
Right.
Yeah, agreed.
But they're not going to do that, right? They're busy doing something. I don't even know what they're doing these days. Not enough.
Aren't they making a Masterpiece Devastator? Oops.
Yeah, that's true. They're finishing up that Devastator and still making one cassette like every 6 years, so I'm still collecting their cassettes. Anyway, we're rambling. Megatron's wise, I would say the Studio Series 86 Megatron is essential if you collect this stuff.
Right.
The Hearts of Steel Megatron is not essential. It's just, if for you it's as fun as it is for me, go get it.
How much was the Hearts of Steel set?
Was it $60?
I can't
I want to say it was, right?
Let me look it up.
I kind of feel like that's the question too, is depending on how much you're paying for these, that if it's if it costs you $40 or whatever, you're like, oh cool. Of course, whatever. Deluxes are $25 now, aren't they?
They are 60. Both sets were 60.
Yeah.
Deluxes are 25. Yeah, sorry.
So I don't know. I mean, the fact that this is like more of a limited run, I guess, but
yeah, Pulse has now sold out of Prime and Starscream. I just looked.
I feel like what you just said about them being like a special Timelines yearly thing actually kind of explains what they are better than anything else. It's like they are just literally 4 characters forced into deluxe scale in special costumes, right? Kind of like how if you want to collect the characters from Cyberverse or Earthrise, you have to put up with them all being the same size, right? That's kind of what these feel like. It's going to be like, we have this many parts, everybody's a deluxe, and we're going to make them in a different spot. I think they're all 4 deluxes.
Well, I mean, these are, but I'm just saying, like, in the future, we don't know that.
No, we don't know that, but that's what this feels like.
Yeah.
This is what if this is establishing what the Timelines 4-packs are going to be like, or what the Timelines for these 4 characters are going to be like, then it's going to be deluxe figures cosplaying once a year, which would be consistent with a lot of toy lines, right? A lot of toy lines, like, especially if you look at like Ninja Turtles, right? They'll just keep releasing the Turtles cosplaying different stuff. He-Man, keep Eternia Wrestling, Eternia Turtles, it's all just like the same main characters, just like we're getting the Skeletor and Man-at-Arms as Transformers characters, right? It kind of fits that. If they start doing that where it's like once a year we get our 4 main guys dressed up.
I mean, I don't hate that as a concept.
No, nor do I. I just wonder if it'll always feel a little disappointing. I guess it'll just always feel like, man, if this could have been a better figure.
Yeah.
Like, I really do like this. This is really cool. And if this was released, if MMC released a like $115 big MMC sized version of this concept, right? I would be in on that because it would be so cool to me because I like this a lot.
Anna, you are probably an even bigger fan of the Baby Goat than I am. Would the Baby Goat have released this figure at deluxe scale?
You're going to have to help me with the Baby Goat.
Oh, it's Mark.
Oh!
I think Mark would have given this his all and put it as leader.
Oh, well, yeah.
And so that to me is evidence that it's not quite right. That it's not with the usual design team.
See, I was just trying to figure out which third-party company sounded slightly like Goat. And I was like,
oh, no.
What in the world? I'm so lost, but I get it now.
No,
I get what
the
you
Baby
said.
Goat.
Yes, he's the Baby Goat. I feel like that might be the case, but I also feel like these spiked wheels have Mark written all over them.
That's true. That one's a tough call, but I think he would have given it a different size class.
I think he would have liked to give it a bigger size class. He might have been told you were constrained.
Maybe.
Because it kind of feels like we were just talking with this idea. It might be that they're just constrained into doing deluxes every time.
Yep.
I mean, I think the fact that they had such a deep cut with this set too, like, I don't know, at this point, how many people were being like, oh man, I really want to, like, expand out my Hearts of Steel collection.
I agree with that, yeah, because I haven't. I've never read Hearts of Steel, so I don't really have an attachment to these.
Not especially good.
Yeah, I don't have an attachment to the storyline. I do love the design, so I think
Yes,
it's really
that's the
neat
point of it.
to turn
Right.
Transformers into this era of vehicles.
That's the
Steampunk
point. The story is
Transformers
not
is cool.
especially good. It's passable, but that it does that is that's the important part.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've been going for quite a while, I think. Decent amount of time, like a little over an hour, just talking about two toys. I do want to ask you guys, just because, this is technically a normal episode of TFYLP, how do you feel about this fan vote we're doing? Do you care at all?
I think it's a waste that Shockwave, not that Shockwave won. Shockwave getting into all those fine, but then they chose the category as wild card with three things that he's already been, and it's like, he is a device or a weapon, right? Like that's what he's from. You know that,
Did they actually
right,
say
fam?
what wild card would be? It would be those things. It didn't include animals.
There is a wild card creature.
Because I think people are trying to get him into a dinosaur mode.
It's fine. They should have picked land if they wanted that.
Was dinosaur in land?
All the four categories had creature.
Okay. All of them had creature. Gotcha.
They had land, air, sea, and wild card.
Okay.
I feel like all of
so right now there's...
Sorry.
I just wanted to say what we're talking about. So we're talking about the current Hasbro fan vote going on right now. Last week they had people vote for character. They had Mirage versus Grimlock, which was stupid, and they have Shockwave versus Starscream, which was not as stupid, but both of those were very much like 80% towards the one that won, Grimlock and Shockwave. Grimlock and Shockwave, classic Nemesis, but people wanted a new Shockwave more, so once again, he won by a landslide. And now we've gone into the second week where we're voting up the alt mode to shape him into something. I think in the third week we finish shaping him.
Yeah, it'll be between device and creature and the other two things that are in wildcard.
It's a very weird little fan vote that will not produce a new character. It will just produce a new toy. And since we've already established that we're probably going to be doing a yearly thing with, the big characters cosplaying, it's really not a lot different.
For the record, I voted for Mirage.
Yeah,
I missed that day.
I feel like
I would have voted
all
for Mirage,
of these
though.
fan votes, like if there's like a multi-step fan vote, I feel like it doesn't work. The one that I feel like that that they ended up doing years and years ago is Victorion, which I don't think turned out that great.
Because they made the worst possible version of those colors.
Right. Well, that was probably the worst of it.
Windblade was multi-step too, and she came out okay.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Windblade's actually a good design. Windblade is a good design. Victorion, I think, was ruined by the fact that they didn't give it new toys. They just used pre-existing Combiner Wars toys. And they didn't use all the best Combiner Wars toys either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people voted on which figures they were going to use.
Yeah, but I don't think we voted on using two of the helicopters. That was pretty strange.
Did we? Or
but I
did
think
we not?
The two helicopters are the best choice in it, though, right?
Yeah.
The helicopter was a good blend. The car they used is okay.
And we didn't know the hotspot was that bad at that point in time.
Right.
Because it was still new or coming out when they were doing that vote. We're like, oh, yeah, hotspot's the new one. It'll be good. It wasn't.
Oh, Anna left apparently. Oh, there you're back.
No, I was trying to mute myself. Instead, I muted my camera.
Yeah, I mean, I think Victorion as a character existing is good. Yay.
Right.
I would like to see Victorion redone.
I agree.
I would like to see a new version with it, kind of like how Windblade has been redesigned to be Windblade multiple different times across multiple different continuities and art styles. I would like to see Victorion rebuilt from the ground up. 4 separate bodies, or 5 separate bodies, 6 separate bodies.
6.
I guess if we include Our little bikey friend that normally gets ignored.
She's sometimes there. I think even if they wanted to use the Legacy and Age of Primes figures to make that happen, because we have Vortex now, we've got the Stunticon that she was, and Hotspot will be coming. Like, that could work. Those are just better figures.
Yeah, they are better figures, and I think you and I both agree we'll probably have 2 helicopters, so we could have 2 helicopters, and we certainly have at least
there'll be
2
a
cars,
Blade,
right?
and there'll be a Vortex. Yeah.
So we could have 5 different molds. Don't know what we would do about Chest Friend, but
It wouldn't be the chest. I think they would just make it out of the animated prowl.
yeah, probably.
That one's fine.
It
And then
would look
DNA
good.
could do a samurai kit for her. Samurai Rust Dust.
There you go.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I would like to see Victorian come back. But
I
this I have no interest in. This current fan vote. This like
No,
just
it'll be,
what kind of new Shockwave do we get? Whatever. It's
it
another
feels like a
new
waste.
Shockwave.
Like, okay.
You know what we
Shockwave.
need? Another regular Shockwave that doesn't look as aged and not great as the Siege one.
I agree.
Because he definitely needs an upgrade to look
Series 84
good with his other
Shockwave.
toys.
Yeah.
The 80-something Shockwave. I don't even care what year. He just needs
That's
to
right.
look more like himself.
He did appear in 86. He could be in. But yeah, I think we'll do that topic soon.
I would like to, yeah.
Figure out who we'd like to see first or most, or who needs it the best, or why we're okay with it and stuff. I think there's definitely something there. And listeners, please, if you have feelings on who of the 84, 85, even 86 crew needs to be redone in a Studio Series style, please leave us comments and let us know. We'll talk about it. Because I've been having fun with it, and I've been struggling with it, and I've been having fun with it again.
I kind of feel the same now. Like, I'm not struggling with it so much, but it's more annoying than anything else.
I've wrestled with the Seeker thing for a good 2 weeks after the reveal.
It's frustrating because it's a pretty big improvement, but it's not. Yeah, we'll get to it.
If someone wants to dig up the episode where I talked about Earthrise Ironhide, and I was like, hey, this is the last Ironhide I'll ever need. Yeah, please show me that, and I will go back in time to pass Christian and tell him he's very wrong. I'm like, no, this is great. I love it. No, Christian. Nobody. I was so naive then.
Naive. Well, we talked about Megatrons. We talked about random stuff. We talked about upgrades. Talked about fan votes.
Which could have been a fan vote, but no. Couldn't vote for the CL mode.
Fan vote would have been pretty funny. Just like try to vote him into being an upside down submarine.
I did.
Just for the joke of it.
I wanted more water-based alt modes. There's Sea Spray and
Shockwave in Hearts of Steel was a boat, wasn't he?
That's right.
So here we go.
Sigh.
All right.
We'll talk about it next week. We'll talk about what Shockwave will be. He'll be something normal.
Honestly, very normal. He's probably gonna be like a car or something. A wild car.
All right.
Good luck with that. Mark said that boat Grimlock was his favorite of the designs that they've made, so guess we'll never see it now.
We had a boat Grimlock.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, for joining us. Thank you to everyone in the chat tonight, and we'll see everyone next week.
Bye.